One of the biggest signs of a civilization's progress is the structures they build. Huge buildings, huge cities, huge forts, huge bridges, etc. Human civilization today has built many megastructures, but when we think about the extraterrestrial structures that we will build in space in the future, our megastructures today are nothing. Requirements are great, it's going to keep on increasing, so with every step of progress, they will build more and more gigantic structures. Humans are just taking the first step of progress. So there are some theoretical giant space structures that we might build in the future. These are ideas that keep us on the edge of wonder and imagination and make us think and act on them. Some of them are really crazy, so amazing. Let's look at some theoretical space structures that are familiar to everyone. The idea is the Dyson sphere is a very large structure that builds a large shell around the sun and collects the sun's energy directly. As a result, each layer collects wasted energy from the previous layer. This structure can collect the entire energy of the sun without wasting a single percent of energy. The more shells there are, the more efficient it will be. The innermost shells will have the same temperature as the star. The temperature will decrease with distance. The outermost shells will have the temperature of space. This supercomputer is actually called the Matryoshka brain. Inside such a powerful supercomputer the universe itself can be simulated entirely. Perhaps a Matryoshka brain would be very useful for an advanced society going digital. It's a good idea, but if you think about it, it's not practical at all. Taking our solar system as an example, more than 99% of the solar system's mass is in the sun. It's not practical to build a lot of shells around the sun with less than 1% of the materials. It's more than just stupid because it's so advanced. Why is it so much easier for society to go to another star than to build shells around it? Anyway, maybe our universe will be inside the Matryoshka brain of some alien. It's very difficult to build a Dyson sphere and a Matryoshka brain. Birch World is the world built around the black hole, and it's really worth thinking about. Amazingly, the largest artificial world any advanced society could build would probably be built not around a normal black hole, but around a supermassive black hole found at the center of galaxies. This world would be about 1 light year in diameter if it were built around the star Vegetarius. A world in diameter would be so large that it would experience Earth-like gravity on its surface. This single world is abundant for living things, but this is just a matter of one shell. Many shells like this can build around a black hole. Similarly, compared to other supermassive black holes, Sagittarius. A star is actually small. If a Birch world built around the largest supermassive black hole in the universe, its surface would sometimes have an area larger than all the rocky planets in the visible universe. In the end times of the universe, such Birch worlds are always inevitable from Earth. Launching rockets is much more difficult and expensive than launching one into space. The concept of a space elevator is very simple. Place a big station in space and connect it to the surface of the Earth with a strong cable. Then instead of launching rockets, we can reach the space station up through this cable. Balanced between centrifugal force and downward gravity, the cable stays firmly cities.ce because of the tension. Anyway, this is not practical at present. The first problem is that we don't have any material strong enough to make a space elevator. There are many objects in geostationary orbit around the Earth, such as rocks, etc. These objects are all naturally space. Even very small objects hit the elevator cable because it hits very fast and the cable breaks. If we solve all these problems and progress to the point where we can build a space elevator, it is still impractical because when we progress that much, we will definitely be able to launch rockets very efficiently, and then there will be no need for a space elevator today. Giant cities. These cities are one of the most important signs of human progress. When you look at everything, it seems that there is only a small area left on the Earth that is not covered by cities. But in fact, even if all the cities of the world are put together, it does not cover even 1% of the Earth's surface. But we are constantly developing. The entire world will be completely covered with cities. That is, the whole world will be a single city. The surface of the planet cannot be seen at all. Even the oceans are completely drained to build the cities. After that, all the food must be produced either in very large factories or on other planets or artificial worlds. The poorest would be those on the bottom layer and the layers above because they could not even see the sky. There will always be constant night. The top layer will have beautiful buildings. This is where the richest people will live. Perhaps the most likely reality in this video would be a city like this. Traveling through space takes a lot of time. By the time it comes back, 3,000 years will have passed on Earth. A solution to this is the Krasnik of tubes, which is really a physical. It is not an existing structure, but an artificial defect in space. A probe with a system that can warp space. When it goes from one place to another, it will crack the space on its way. No matter how long it took to get there, it will return immediately after departure. For example, suppose we can travel at 999% of the speed of light. On that path, it's also ripping through space, which means that the probe will be traveling relatively fast, like making a tunnel. So from the point of view of the people inside the probe, it will have taken them only a year and a half to get there. While on Earth it will have been 1,500 years, and it will take another year and a half to get back. So by the time they come back, it will have been 3,000 years on Earth. But when they went there, they can come back through the tunnel made, and that journey will again take a year and a half, but through the tunnel, when you come back, you will have spent a total of 3 years on Earth. It sounds similar to a wormhole, but a wormhole is a system of instantaneous travel, but traveling through the Krasnikov tube is not instantaneous. Instead, it takes the same amount of time to travel through the tube as when it is open. Can be maintained forever, then space exploration with this system will be very easy from a relatively natural course. Like the video if you like it, reminder to do and don't forget to subscribe this channel for more interesting and informative videos.